All right, guys, we're live. We're live.
GM, guys.
Let me see if I can share this link in the general group. Just a minute. Yeah, for those joining, please feel free to share the link while I share it in our general group. All right, so what do you think about the market so far?
Well, it hasn't really changed from that's price action wise from Sunday Clubhouse. So basically, our outlook is still the same. Yeah, we're just hoping that this week we see much more green in the market, basically. But the outlook is still the same from what we've discussed yesterday on the Clubhouse.
Okay, so before we jump to the charts, let me share my screen just before we jump to the charts. So let me share my screen. So yeah, looking at the market outlook, this is on daily. We can see IP did like the most pump today on top 100 crypto assets, while some other coins are trying to recover, but they haven't really recovered from Friday correction. We're still watching to see performance. But from this time last week till date, if you noticed, most coins are still in red, just few green that we have here. Well, I think what we should be looking at next is BTC charts, which is what I'm switching to right away. Let's look at Bitcoin charts and how it has played out within the last, should I say, about 48 hours or 72 hours. All right, so if you guys notice, I don't know, hope my screen is visible. My screen
Yes,
is visible,
it is.
right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if you guys notice, last week was a red week, obviously. It closed last week in red, and we're expecting this week to be green. Today is Monday. Usually on Mondays, we expect bumps. For those that were at Clubhouse yesterday, I did say something that I was expecting BTC to pump, majorly because today is Monday. So as at 4:30 yesterday, I was saying I was expecting that pump. So by midnight, I'm waiting to see the outcome. So by midnight, BTC pumped. BTC actually pumped midnight. Let me switch to 2 hours chart. So see, there's a long position I was on that hit TP, and that pump started around 12, around probably almost 11, 12 at night. Yesterday, that's when that pump started, and it pumped till almost 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. this morning. BTC got up at 92,400. Then it met with this resistance here, and we saw like a huge sell again. So clearly, we can see that we've actually gotten that pump, and that was expected. For those that were on the Clubhouse yesterday, if you leaned towards that, should have made some profit based on this move that happened. Now we're back to this level. We're testing this level again for BTC. Now, do I think we would go below it? I would have to wait to see this candle where I need to close. 4 hours candle to be precise. I have to wait. That should be 1 o'clock. I'm waiting to see when the 4 hours candle close around 1 o'clock to be able to decide that. But however, even if we go below that zone, it will be majorly to take out maybe these lows before we go up. So overall, I'm bullish for this week. Like overall, I'm actually bullish for this week. Although I saw some news this morning from Coinbase talking about pulling support for is it the Clarity Bill, the Crypto Clarity Bill, something like that. If they remove support for stablecoin, I think I didn't really pay attention, but it wasn't a bullish news per se. Yes, it wasn't necessarily a bullish news. I know I saw that news, but I didn't really react because I didn't have any BTC position open. I didn't, so I didn't react. And also, I've been paying attention to see some altcoins if they would open. Hype is back to our entry. Hype, it's back to our entry. We'll get to that once we're done looking at BTC. So for those that are looking for a position for Bitcoin, you might want to wait. If you missed out the weekend entry we had, if you missed that and you failed to capitalize on this initial pump this morning, it's just to chill and watch this candle close. Unless you want to like scalp, then you might want to go to like lower time frames to search for like entries. If that's what you want to do, you might want to go to lower time frame to search for entry, which is looking like we have an entry here, but I'm not really so sure. I'm not too sure about that though. Now let's look at Ethereum. We'll look at Ethereum. We'll also look at BNB. First, let's look at BNB. BNB has been very bullish all through while BTC was correcting. It's been really, really bullish. We had this BNB trade drawn from last week. It did not trigger. It was a missed entry. It didn't trigger. So afterwards, I've not bothered to search for another entry for BNB until you see like maybe some minor correction. LTC has corrected. It has gone below the 80k resistance, which is not so looking so good. This was why I was also skeptical about Litecoin, where I told you guys that it can be quite volatile. And if BTC keeps swinging around that price, it might fail, might go below its support. So Litecoin has actually done that. It has gone below its support. AVAX is still looking very strong. AVAX is really, really looking strong. I will encourage a long if AVAX get back to this entry. Personally, I'll take that long. If AVAX gets back to this entry, I'm out of the trade already. So if it gets back to this entry, so you can keep your eyes out for it. If it gets back to this entry, I'll take the long because of AVAX is still looking strong. Gigo also is looking strong. It's looking strong. It's been playing around this entry. Like it's just been playing around there. I've been able to swing it, I think, twice, or scalp. I've been able to scalp like twice from Gigo. So it's still playing there, still observing. Based on how BTC reacts, I should be able to take this Gigo long again. That should be like third time I'm taking this trade. I should be able to take it again. Let's look for Ethereum. Let's look at the Ethereum chart. Metis is back to our entry. Metis is actually back to that entry. We spoke about that last week. It's back to the entry, but I'm still watching it to see how it performs and how it reacts. Now, Ethereum is looking very strong, sincerely. It's really, really looking strong. Now, the level I'll be looking to get into Ethereum, hopefully it gets there. I was paying attention over the weekend, but it didn't get to that level over the weekend. Let's see. Searching for a particular tool. Okay, it's here. The level I was waiting for, it didn't get to that level, basically. I was waiting to see if maybe Ethereum would get to this level, 3050. If it would get down to this level, but it actually did not get this low. So I'm still paying attention to see if it can give us that level. But overall, I'm expecting a pump this week. Cake moved before I could react. It moved before I could react. Cake. It moved before I could react. Still waiting for a pump in the market. Asta is back to our entry. Still observing the trade. But overall, I'm actually waiting for BTC to make like its long move overall. So most of the alts now are sitting on support. There are lots of altcoins sitting on support, lots of them. And BTC right now too is also sitting on like a support, which, like I said, I'm actually expecting it to bounce and give us like a good pump. Now, if we notice gold has bounced. Gold has actually bounced. Let me see if I can search for gold. Just briefly. Let me find the random gold chart. Just something random. Okay, let's work with this one by bit. So if you notice, gold pumped today, and we've said this severally that once we see gold moving, it's a chance to start, or it's a signal to expect BTC sooner or later. Gold has done all-time high on all-time high. So if you check from October, this was the same period BTC crashed. BTC crashed 11th October, and gold dumped a week after. Saw like a huge dump, like the biggest correction this year from gold, from like 4.4 all the way to about 3.9. Yeah, it was at November. And since then, gold has been killing it. It's just been going up, up, up. After we just saw another correction last week of December, we saw that correction, which has cancelled that correction out, and it's moving higher and higher. Now, if you check overall, just a minute, if you check overall, gold has done from its correction to where it is right now. It has done about 17%. 17%, and this is from like October till date. But if you go to BTC chart, BTC has not even recovered back to all-time high, but gradually it's moving because it got to about 70 something K. So gradually it's moving. Now, my expectation from BTC is simple. I expect BTC to, let me zoom out to weekly. Let me use a cleaner chart, just a different clean chart. All right, good. So I expect BTC this was the highest BTC dump we saw, the lowest price we saw rather around November. So I expect BTC to like take off and most likely get back to this all-time high or create a newer all-time high. Now I'm not very certain about that, but what I am actually much certain about is we getting all the way to 105, 108K. That's the one that I'm very, very certain about. We getting to 105 to 108K. And my expectation is for that to happen like this month. That's my expectation. I'm expecting that to like happen this month, basically. This month, I'm expecting that to happen for BTC to run all the way to about go above 105. This is 105 here. Go above 105. I most likely get to like 108. Maybe we might go above. I'm not betting on that basically, or at least it gets to 105K. Should we create a new all-time high above 126K? Still fine. That's still very possible. So for most persons that will be wondering or thinking this is not possible, you should note that it takes BTC short time to actually do most of this run. If you look at the time it took for this dump to happen, this all-time high, 6th of October, it took BTC approximately 46 days to go from all-time high to this low that we saw of 7 something K, to get about 46 days, which is a month, and that's basically what it took BTC. And if you want to check when it was able to move from the all-time low of last year, which was around 75K around April, to a new all-time high, took it approximately about 3 months, and it ran from that all-time low to about the all-time high. And right now we're not at all-time low, at 90 something K. So in about 2-3 weeks, BTC can see to like an aggressive run all the way to about 105K or thereabouts. That's what me I'm personally expecting. As a person, I don't know what do you think about this analysis?
Well, I agree with your analysis. We are still early in the week. Let's see how that plays out, because if you check in the market, you could see different snippets of bullish news, whether bullish sentiment, bullish tweets. But basically, let's just see how this all plays out. Because in the end, all we just want is our odds to basically pump, whether we have an extended bull cycle or we have uh, massive, whether institutional or retail investments. We just want the odds to pump. And then talking about odds pumping, I just noticed because we've spoken about this a couple of times, how projects or founders could delay app launch or MVPs just for prices to crash. And it's beginning to look like that's what Sora is doing. Because up until I know someone asked in the meeting yesterday about Sora. Up until this point, Sora hasn't released even one tweet. In the last tweet they made was 30th of December, and today is, if I'm not mistaken, today is 12th of January. They've not released any tweet whatsoever. People are complaining about not being able to unstake tokens, uh, and nothing has been said. And this is totally unlike Sora, which is a team that we've seen Binance staffs and Binance, top executive interact with. Okay, they've not said anything. They've not even tweeted at all or retweeted anything. So I'm beginning to think this is probably a ploy to crash the price, which the price has crashed, to be honest. And then we get in maybe a massive rally because these guys are basically providing an oracle service for prediction market. And we've seen even in one of CZ's latest tweets last week, talking about, what's it called? Prediction market. Okay, so I'm beginning to think that that's basically what is happening in the market. Now, also, I think Kennedy talked about Chromia's restructuring. I checked, but I haven't seen any new tweets on that. So I don't know where that information is coming from, if it's on Telegram or speculative information. So maybe if anyone has more news about Chromia's restructuring or letting go of staffs, they can probably point us to the right direction, because I want to fully understand the context behind it. Because like I said in the meeting yesterday, it would not make sense to me if Chromia is restructuring or letting go of staffs because of maybe revenue, or maybe they don't have, that would not make any sense to me, right? But then if it's for some other reasons, then one can weigh if this is an opportunity or what kind of game they are playing. So I'm kind of excited. I'm looking at the market to see if we get much more good opportunities, because yes, there are opportunities to buy tokens low, but one is checking what's the opportunity cost of holding token A against holding token B. Which one would pump first, so that you could probably rotate money and make much more money using being capital efficient. So yeah, I agree with your analysis.
Okay, your voice was lagging briefly. I couldn't hear you clearly because your voice was lagging. I don't know if you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I totally agree with you. Before I respond to that, let me just share this trade on Hyperliquid. So this is actually a new position for Hyperliquid. So if you're interested, you can take this trade on Hyperliquid. This was the previous trade we took on Hyperliquid that almost got to full TP, and we were able to get some good profit out of this trade before it returned back to entry. So this is another entry opportunity for Hype. So you can actually set this up on your chart. to monitor it and also take the trade on your various exchanges that you're using to trade. Yeah, so about the whole Chromia stuff, I've not followed up on it. I haven't really checked. I've not paid attention. But what I've paid attention to is Monero. Monero has been pumping since Friday night or thereabout. I don't know why, but it has actually been pumping. It started from slightly below $500, and right now today is over 570. Which, if anyone had traded it on features, that would be like very very good profits. But I didn't because I didn't understand why it was pumping, so I didn't even bother checking the chart. But yeah, let's look at some other coins we love to swing. River dumped about $13, pumped back now to 19. Personally, I did not take advantage of it. Maybe I will start paying attention to River for some swing opportunity. Deriv, this is actually a DEX. It's a DEX token. It's been a while I traded it too. Let's look at Sora briefly. Let me just open Sora. Just open shortly. Let's just look at Sora briefly. So personally, I think I'm going to accumulate some Sora tokens because right now it's at 200 or something K market cap. It's very low. Might just get some on MXC. It's not financial advice, by the way. This is me trying to gamble here. I might get some at MXC because like it's really really low. Announcements from the team would spike the price to almost 700, 800K. Yeah, this is almost like a degen play right now. Any tiny announcements from the team would spike the price to at least 750, 800. Now it depends on the kind of announcement they put out there. If it's the new sites that they are pushing, then it's pump the price above 1.82M. So it's looking like an easy 500, 600% best case scenario that can be made from this Sora Oracle. So if you're up for it, you can actually take advantage of the low prices. Then for CHR, I think if CHR rebrands, it might actually put the project on the right direction. The only thing now to finalize on is what are they rebranding to? What are they rebranding to? Which is something that we really need to check it on time, what they are rebranding to. Now, why I'm saying so is if what they are rebranding to doesn't align with on-chain activities, anyone that is invested in projects like CCY, it's not CCY, Chosi rather, Chosi, anyone that is invested in a project like Chosi might be dealt with if what they actually rebranding to does not support on-chain activities. That person might be dealt with. So right now I'm trying to see if I can just open their Twitter handle to see if I can see any news relating to that. Yeah, so are there any projects you're actually bullish on currently? Especially, are there any projects you're bullish on right now? I don't know if you're there.
For me, yeah, I'm here. For me, it's still the same old projects, to be honest. Because for me, what being bullish means is what I've put my money in, right? So I still have my bet on Sora. I still have my bet on Ori. Now, I still have my bet on AO. Like I really do have my bet on AO. Okay. So because for me, somehow the ecosystem is slowly taking shape. It's something that it's not dead, right? We've not spoken of AO for like seriously the way we've spoken about, let's say, Ori, or analyzed AO the way we've analyzed Ori, or even what's it called, Chromia, right? So my bet is still on AO. Now, I'm still bullish on Rujira, that's the Ruji token, because they are shipping, basically. They are putting out new updates. They've not started their third party app integration, because they want to make sure that they
Yeah.
have all their verticals out there before they start pushing for new
Yeah.
tokens and
Execution.
their launch pad. Yeah, that's why I've not even seen them put out their launch pad yet. But I know that this year Launchpad will be live, and we all know that Launchpad is where that the making money part is, aside from owning the Doji token itself. So yeah, these are
Yeah.
like the core tokens that I'm really bullish on. Then I have like a few tokens that I'm on the lookout for to see if they are dead, if they will do something crazy. One is Upoli. I'm still looking at Upoli because if their podcast goes live again, that token is going to pump crazy, even if it's for a week or 2 weeks, right? Because
Yeah.
just by mere announcement that the podcast is coming back, that token did more than 15x. So, which I know if they release maybe an episode, or they say who is coming for the podcast, maybe let's say they are inviting one of Coinbase or CZ or one other, what's it called, crypto person, the token would
Yeah.
pump crazy. So I have my eyes set on that. What other tokens? I've talked about Chromia because I'm also looking at Eval, right? Color pool is high on my list when it comes to Chromia, because I feel if something massive comes to Chromia, it would surely affect color pool, or color pool on its own can actually pull out
True.
a massive pump. So those are like some of the tokens that I'm really looking at. Maybe a few might have escaped my head because I didn't write them down. So yeah, those are like the stuff I'm currently playing around with.
All right. So let's share for those just joining. This is the trade idea we're looking at for hype. So if you're just joining, you might want to also position for this trade. This is the last time we took hype trade. Personally, I exited somewhere around here based on trading stop loss personally. So this is what we're expecting again for hype. This entry around 24, 24.1 or 20, 24. This is it here, 24.08. This is stop loss around 21.7. And there's a TP around 28.7. So you might want to jump on that. About okay, let's take some questions briefly. We have some questions here. So someone asked them, oh sorry, I didn't observe that my screen was not showing. I'm just seeing it now. Yeah, so you can see the hype trade on my screen. So someone asked the question, do you use fundamental analysis also, not just technical? Yes, we do use fundamental analysis. So we can't have a very bearish news on BTC and we are going to long BTC. No. Like BTC is aggressively dumping, but on the chart, you're going to search for like a quick long position, unless you just want to scalp, but not like long term. Yet you can't hear that Trump has banned banks from buying BTC, and he has said he will tax all holders of BTC. And you rush to the chart and you see BTC is nose diving, and what you're looking for ASAP is just to take a long position. No. The best you'll be looking for is a short position that aligns with that fundamental news that is also affecting the market negatively. Yeah, so someone is okay. So someone is asking Sora price, like how much do you plan to put? Well, for me, I'll just put in personally, I'll just put in like $500 into it. Maybe if it goes down low, I might put a bit again, but or maybe I might not put again, but I know I'll put around $500. What is your take investing? AVAX is good, AR is good, AO is good, LTC is good. They're all good. AO, AO is not for me like an A-list token to invest in long term because it's still highly experimental. But the other three, they are all good long term. AVAX, AR, LTC, they are all good long term. AO isn't yet because for all we know, it can still go to lower prices. still very possible for AO to still go to $3 or $2 or even $1. It's very, very possible. You understand? So you want to work with something that already has like a defined path. AVAX, AR, LTC, they've been around for a very long time. They are all over 5, 6 years old. LTC is more than 10 years old. LTC is almost 13, 14 years old, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's since like 2011 that LTC has been around. So it's almost 15 years old, which is why I say LTC pumping is inevitable. Might not be now, it might not even be this year. But LTC is one of those projects that you just want to be accumulating very long term, like very, very long term, because it still has what it takes to pump to above 500, 600, $700, and even $1,000. AR, obviously, it has its own niche. It's been doing very well, and it's extremely undervalued. So it's still one of those projects that you know that long term to still be here. It's not going anywhere. AVAX too has its own utility, allows institutions to create their own chains. Yet, and it has been around for over 5 years. I don't see anything stopping AVAX from going higher, as long as they keep innovating, which they have lots of solid partnerships with some very solid institutions. So you find that those are all very good projects, aside AO, that its future is still uncertain. Yeah, so someone has a question for us personal, so personal, you can respond to that before we round up.
Okay, so is it better to leave Woody stake to the merge contract, please share community member when it's good to exit Fuji? Yeah, for me, all my Woody is still in the merge contract, to be honest, because I've explained this before, because there is not too much on-chain activity for you to have like outsized returns on investment if you staked your Uji. To be honest, in the beginning, yes, there was, but after those series of announcements and DOMs, there are not much. So leaving your tokens in the merge contract is much more profitable than going to stake the tokens as of now, right? Maybe later, sometime this quarter, there might be much more economic activity on Rujira that withdrawing it and staking it might be much more profitable, but then that's not the case currently. But then if it happens to be so, maybe then we could announce to the general public that, okay, see, staking is currently much more profitable than merging. So you now decide, the one you want to take. But as of now, it's merging. So, and then merging, you can always get your token back anytime, any day that you wish to. So, yeah.
So I think a re-entry into this Asta trade is also a good one. Re-entry to this Asta trade, I feel is also a very, very good one to get back into this Asta trade. It's good. So it's something I would also be taking. So for those that are interested, you might also want to jump back into this Asta trade. You can see the entry here. This is the SL rather. This is stop loss. The entry is 0.066 or 0.7, anyone. Then the full TP is 0.769. So this is a 1 to 2 trade. So you might also want to get back into this Asta trade. All right, so let's see. I think we have one last question. Okay, so someone is saying Litecoin is still doubtful to me. So I don't know what you mean by it on-chain transactions, though, because Litecoin has lots of transactions. Litecoin has lots of users. Litecoin is actually one of the cryptocurrencies that's actually being more used on a day-to-day basis. I think it even has more transactions, talking about quantity, not volume. It has more transactions than BTC. And it also has like huge volume. Like just look up the stats. So when you say on-chain, I don't understand the on-chain transactions you're referring to. But people use LTC a lot for payment of goods and services on a day-to-day basis than they even use BTC. yet currently. And Litecoin price hasn't moved in a very, very long time. Like LTC price has just been ranging and consolidating for the longest period of time. It almost has not had a bull run, despite the halving that was done 2023, I think. It hasn't had a bull run for almost 6 years now, or thereabouts. So I'm expecting it to actually eventually break out. We would have seen that breakout. We would have seen Litecoin breakout in the month of October. We have actually seen the breakouts that would have sent Litecoin above $200 to $50 month of October. But BTC messed things up. Like BTC really, really messed things up. So brought it back down. And if you also check, there are lots of institutions that are beginning to add LTC to their balance sheets. That's another thing that you notice. There are lots of institutions that are adding LTC to their balance sheets. Yeah, so these are like some of the few things about LTC. Okay, so the first one is saying LTC transactions like Solana and BSC. LTC is not like a blockchain that enables you to build on, at least not yet. But they are planning to actually do something like that, or they have done it, but they've not started the project. So it's like somebody saying BTC on chain transaction. You can't compare it to Solana and Binance Smart Chain. You can't actually do that, even if you can build on BTC currently. But by default, that's not what BTC was designed for. So that has little to no value to the amount of the current cost of BTC. It doesn't really add much to it. Yet. So those are chains that were designed for that. Solana, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and others, they were designed for that, to build on. LTC was not designed to build on. BTC was not designed to build on. Doge and most of those OG blockchains, they were not designed to build on. So you can't use that metric to actually like draw a comparison. All right, guys. So that's all from me. And Spencer, I don't know if you have something else to add.
No, we just keep an eye on the market, and then we'll let the guys know when anything changes.
All right, guys. So see you guys same time tomorrow. And don't forget to leave your comments or questions in our Telegram channel. The link is actually on the screen. So feel free to join and leave your comments, your questions. Thanks, guys. And bye-bye.
All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.